Hi, my name is Karen Sliwinski. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Northeast Ohio. So if you can see a little bit behind me, it's looking a little bit better at my house. I'm getting more and more things unpacked and put away. Still a lot of work to do, but I am making progress. So today I'm going to do some quick and easy cards today, and we are going to feature designer series paper and punches. And I am also going to feature 2 stamp sets, which are great for sentiments. They are called Best Year and Inspired Thoughts. So we are going to get started. I'm going to turn the camera around and we are going to be making some quick and easy cards. As I mentioned in the intro, we are going to be using these 2 stamp sets. I love these because these have a lot of great sentiments and they're good for both the inside and the outside of your card. I tell you, I use both of these so often. They really are a staple. So we're going to be using those today. And I'm going to show you some of our beautiful designer series paper. So this is from Expressions in Ink. And we started doing this a couple years ago when we had our puppies. Stampin' Up! Designed some papers that would be wonderful if you cut them in half and then cut them into panels to use on cards. So this is a gorgeous, this is sort of an alcohol ink design on all of these papers, but this is so pretty. And the card I'm going to show you as my demo, I use this paper. Here is another one, and I think for the card that I'm going to demo, I will use this one. But look at this. You can see the gold accents on this. It is so pretty. And then I'm going to set this over here. This is another one. And again, it has the beautiful gold accents. So those are just some of the papers that come in this pack. And of course, they've all got, this is another one. I almost forgot about this one. You cut this one in half. But they have gorgeous backs too. So sometimes you go, oh, I don't know which one to use. And so get 2 packs so that you can use them all as much as you want. So I'm going to set that aside. And we are going to start out with this paper. So as I mentioned, we are going to cut this in half. So we are going to cut it right along this middle line. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to position this. What's nice about this trimmer, well, many things are nice about it, but this edge here, when you have it closed, is the 6-inch mark. So we're just going to put this here and we're going to cut it right up the middle. So now I have 2 different pieces, and I can choose which portion of this I would like to use. So I think I am going to cut from this end, and I want 4 inches. So you can get 6 cards out of one of these sheets of paper. So I'm just going to put that in here. Oops, that's my scoring blade. There's my cutting blade. And I'm going to cut this. Now, because we are making a standard card, this really needs to be 5 1/4. So let me move this down so you can see. So I'm going to go to the 5 1/4, close this up, and I'm going to cut this top part off. So now, on some of the other ones that you'll see later, we would use this piece as well. But for this card, I'm only going to use this beautiful piece right here. All right, move that out of the way. And then we need a base, and I have chosen the Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to fold that in half. This is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then we're just folding it and giving it a good crease. And then this is going to layer here, quick and easy. So I'll get out my glue. All these papers, look at this. Oh, they're so stunning. So get this glue started and put a little bit on there. And stick this right in the center of our card base. Oh, I love these papers. Now you're also going to need a scrap of paper. This is about 1 1/4 by 4 inches. And we are going to stamp our sentiment. And I have chosen You Make a Difference Every Day. I'm going to use some shaded spruce as my ink. And I'm going to stamp this over to one side. Let's stamp that right like that. Perfect. Clean that stamp off. Close this out. The punch I'm going to use on this card is the double oval punch. So as you can see here, I'm getting a lot of reflection from my camera. It has 2 different ovals. maybe it's easier to see it this way. So you've got an inside one and an outside one. We are only going to use the smaller of the two. So I'm just going to put my paper in here. That's why I chose a little bit longer piece, so that you would have a handle, if you would. All right, close that up. Then all we need are some dimensionals. I'm going to grab a couple dimensionals here. And peel the backings off. And you can place this wherever you want, but I'm going to place it down here in this corner. And there you have a beautiful card. Who wouldn't love getting this in the mail? Oh, it's so stunning. And then what I have done is I've taken...
play the playlist?
Oh, I've got Alexa talking to me. I am...
Should I play the playlist?
Oh, I'm going to pause and stop her. All right, what I have here is the inside panel, and I have taken the artistically designed stamp set, and I just stamped some of that flower along this edge. And then I could go ahead and stamp my greeting for the inside. So this is the card that I first made. And you can see I placed this on this portion of the card, and that's what I did on the inside. And then I stamped my envelope along with that artistically inked stamp set, and I just used that stamp that's kind of big and blobby along this outside edge. So this is a beautiful, quick and simple card, and I'm just going to stick this inside, and I will stamp the inside of that later. So now I wanted to show you some more of our papers, because we have some beautiful papers that are perfect for doing this. So this first one that I'm going to do is this one. Oops, I've got two stacks here. As you can see, I've got quite a few examples for you. So this one is from the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. So again, you would cut this right down the middle, and then you would cut it into your 4-inch panels. And I have made a card with that. Let's see, right here. And I cut the extra bit off the bottom before I cut it off the top, where it was mostly white. But this one had a little bit more of the design, so I cut it off the bottom. And again, I used that oval punch, and I used a backing on it. So this one is Mary Merlot. I put this on a base of Misty Moonlight, and I put that extra part that I cut off on my inside panel. So it makes this extra pretty, and it uses that full 4x6 inch piece. And then that's what I did for my envelope. So the next one I have for you is this piece of paper. And this is from our Peaceful Place Designer Series paper. So here I cut down the middle, and then I cut off the bottom a little bit here. Okay, and the card I made using that paper is this card right here, and this one uses the Everyday punch. So I took that punch and I cut this out on Poppy Parade. I mounted this all on Smoky Slate, and then I embossed this saying, the warm wishes for a happy Christmas, and I embossed that in our silver embossing powder. And doesn't that just pop on this card? And then the part that I cut off, I flipped it over, and I used it on the top and the bottom of my inside. So I had 3/4 of an inch that we had cut off, and I just split it into 1/4 and 1/2. And then I put a snowflake on my envelope. All right, my next one is from paper, and we're going to use this pattern, and this is from the Bloom Where You're Planted Designer Series paper. So here, this one is not designed to be cut in half and used like I did those other examples, but it's just a really busy pattern, and I thought that would make a beautiful background. So I did a 4x5 1/4 panel, and here is the card that I made with that. So this one uses the Label Me Lovely punch, and then I stamp my sentiment on there, and then I just put a little bit of ribbon just to spice it up a little bit. But isn't that fabulous? And it really is so fast and easy. And then the part that I had cut off, I used to do a mat for my sentiment, where I just put the congratulations. I trimmed it down a little bit, and we have a beautiful card there. All right. Now, the other way we are going to use designer series paper is we are also going to start with a 4x6, but we are going to cut that paper into several pieces. All right, so I am going to be using this paper here. This is from the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. So one of the things that you want to look for is a paper that you like both sides together. So like these two, I like together. Here's another one from that set, and I like both of those together. And again, another one. They work beautifully. Now, sometimes they're not, and you don't really like them together. But here are just some beautiful ones that do look lovely together. So set those aside. And this is the card that we are going to be making. So we're going to do this one, though, in a darker version. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And we are going to start with a base of Evening Evergreen. So I fold that right in half. And I'm going to give that a good crease with my bone folder. Now here we have our paper. So I started out with a let's see if we lined it up. This is a 4x6 piece of paper, and I cut off my 3/4 of an inch. So this leaves me a 4 by 5 1/4. So now this is where you're going to want to trim this into 2 pieces. And where you trim it doesn't really matter. It's just sort of where you like it. So we're just going to trim it, say at about 3 1/2, or you know what? We could go right in half. So we could go 2 5/8. How about that? All right, so now we have 2 pieces here. And we are going to put that directly on our card base. I'll turn this over. And this is such a fabulous way of using your designer series paper. Not only are you making quick and easy cards, but you're diminishing your stash a little bit, because you know we're all paper hoarders. And then you're going to have some really lovely cards. So if you are still needing to make some Christmas cards, this would be a really nice one. So we're just going to butt those right up. Okay, stick that down. Oops, let that slide a little bit. Push you back. All right. Now, one thing I do recommend when you're cutting these is to have something along this edge. So if you wanted to have a piece of ribbon and wrap that around, you could do that. We are going to, oh, those are so crooked. I am going to take that off and make that a little bit better. Let's see if I can get this one off. I can't really get that one off too much. It's really stuck down there. But I will put this one back on there. Sometimes it's hard to get things straight when you're using the camera. But let's see if we can straighten it out a little bit. That is a little bit better. Okay, so I have a piece of my Evening Evergreen, and we're just going to put that right over that seam. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to that. Okay, and we're going to cover that right up. All right. Now I have my piece of white, and again, this is a little bit bigger than you really need. It's about 1.5 inches, and we are going to use our sentiment for this, and we're going to stamp that in the Evening Evergreen. So I have beautiful, wishing you all the beautiful gifts of Christmas, and stamp that right here. And then our punch, I'm going to close this up so I don't accidentally set something into it. This is our punch, which is the Label Me Fancy. Okay. And I always do my punches upside down so I can see. And you're just going to center that in there. And one of the nice things about this punch is it does have a slot and a hole. So if you wanted, you could have a ribbon go through this. So you could add your slot at either end or this side, or you could add the hole. So that's a handy little feature to that punch. And then all we need to do is pop this up with our dimensionals. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of that strip that we added. And there you have your Christmas card. So then for the inside of this one, I do have this extra piece that we cut off. This is that 3/4 by 4-inch piece. And that will fit nicely at the very bottom of this card. So I'm going to put it here. Sometimes I put it at the very bottom, and sometimes I leave a little bit of a white gap. And that hangs over just a little bit, so I'm going to just trim that off. And then you can stamp your inside sentiment, which in this one, I put peace, love, and joy, which are the beautiful gifts of Christmas. So that would go on the inside of this card. And then for the envelope, I took some of that paper and I just covered up my flap. So I want to show you some other examples. We have so many beautiful papers. I had a hard time deciding what I was going to do. So this next one, this is called In the Wild Designer Series paper. And this is the paper that I chose to make a card with. And this is what the back side is. But I wanted to show you how this is a really cool paper. But you may not like this one with this. So if you didn't like it, you could find two that were coordinating. So for this one, I do like this one coordinating with it. And this one coordinates beautiful with this one. So make two cards at once. So cut a 4x6 panel of each of these and then cut them the same distance. And then you can make two cards at once, but you're flipping, you know, the back side of this one will go with this one and the back side of this one will go with this one. So set that aside and show you the card that I made with this one. And there it is. Again, I cut this just about in half and I put this on a lighter base. This is the Soft Succulent. And then I used a strip, and this one's a little bit thicker than I did on the other one. This one's about, I guess it's about a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4. I just used some of the scraps that I had. And then my sentiment I stamped on the rectangular postage stamp set. And I just added the thank you so much. And then I decorated my envelope. All right, my next one, oh, this one is so cute. So this one is the Penguin Playmate paper pack. This one has a lot of paper in here that has all these really cute little animals. And you really want to showcase these because they're just so adorable. So here is a great pattern. And then the back side is this one. Here's another great one. And the little dots. So those coordinate beautifully. And then one more. And then we've got Christmas trees. So you may not want the Christmas trees with this one, but you may want to pair those Christmas trees with this one because this has little trees here. So I have made this adorable card. And this one uses the Label Me Fancy punch, just like we did on our other card. So here is my little guys. Now this one I did just a little bit different. I cut a piece of the DSP to be 3 3/4 by 5, and then I matted that with a piece of paper that was 4 by 5 1/4. So it's just a little bit different, but it's the same concept. And then I put this little piece of, this is fresh freesia. I'm going backwards in time to purple posy. This is fresh freesia. And so that's what the base is. And then I stamped my sentiment and I put it down below. So it kind of depends what your pattern is, but this shows off all of those cute little critters. And then that's what I did on the inside with this little penguin. So somebody who has a birthday in the wintertime, they would love to get this. This isn't just a little Christmas set. You can use it for any winter celebration. And then I put another one of the little penguins on my envelope. All right, now my next one. Oh, all right, so this is a sneak peek. So I wanted to show you a couple things. Our current catalog, if we look at page 147, this is where all of our punches are starting. And you can go through and you can see all the punches. This is another great one, the Taylor tag. I did not use that one today. If you happen to have some of the punches that were retired, some of the circle punches, those work fabulous for this too. But I wanted to show you, this next set is coming up in our new catalog. So I can only show you the cover. So we have this mini catalog that will be available January 4th. It has so many wonderful things in it. So I'm very excited. You're going to see some sneak peeks coming up in the upcoming days. And it's also going to be celebration time. So this is a wonderful chance to get free products with your purchase. So the set that I'm going to feature is from there. And I am going to use some of the sentiments that came with it. It's called Sweet Conversations. It's actually a bundle. There are some dies that go with it. But the paper in there is so adorable in this bundle. Look at these. All these wonderful hearts. And it's got, oh, what are these called? Conversation hearts. And then there's the back side. Look at these are lollipop suckers. Oh, I love it. So these would be wonderful for cutting that DSP in half and then having those on the bottom. Oh, look at these stripes. Oh, I loved all of these. I had a hard time really picking between what I was going to use. And look at those. Oh, so lovely. So I did pick one of them, and this is the card that I made. And this is using our heart punch pack. So here I chose those conversation hearts, and I put it on, this is again the 3 3/4 by 5 that I cut. And I put it on a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the Highland Heather. And then when I did my heart punches, there's actually 2 of them. So the first one, I stamped my sentiment, and I just did it in white, and then I used the Gorgeous Grape. So that is like 1 shade deeper than the Highland Heather. And then on the inside, I I stamped my Happy Valentine's Day and then added some little hearts. And then there is my envelope. So this was using the heart punches. So these are all very, very quick and easy. They are a great way to use up your designer series paper. So I can just put a few of these back here so that you can see the cards that we've made. Oh, the other ones are all buried over there, but these were just a couple of the ones that I showed today. Give it a try. This is so quick and easy, but the results are stunning. So this, cutting your DSP and getting double duty out of it is a great way to be efficient and make a lot of cards with very minimal supplies. So please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I do appreciate you doing that. I appreciate your comments. I love reading them. If you have any ideas or things that you want to see, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to demonstrate those things. And if you wouldn't mind, share this video with your friends. And if you need to order any of the supplies, the links are in the bottom of this video. And I will see you next time. Bye.